Welcome back, friends, to another episode of the Dwarven Fortress Steam Edition. My name's Tobel. Thanks for being here with me. So, we continue to expand the access and control of Pantedguild as we start to mine out our future home. So far, things are going pretty well. We are actively building and constructing a lot of objects, mostly for storage and preparation, because once we, for example, once we come down here into the actual fortress itself, we're going to need a lot of stuff. In fact, we can start preparing to flesh out our bedrooms now. So to do that, I'm going to make a bunch of work orders. We are going to make 20 brand new beds. Jade is going to be super busy, but it's also going to be great because she's going to get some fantastic skills. We're going to make some wooden cabinets as well. We are going to make some chests. Man, me and my typing, where did that go to? I need 20 wooden cabinets. I need wooden chests here. We're going to make 20 of those. Now, I'm not making a logical thing. I'm making a bulk order. So I just basically want enough things to fill out the... Did I forget to do... Let's see, 2, 4... I think I forgot to put a hotkey zoom in the quarters location. There we go. So these are 20 rooms total. So I'm going to need 20 of everything. And then I'm also going to need 20 doors. I know we're making a thing for rock doors right now, but I know we're going to use 20, so I'll just go ahead and make a individual order for 20. And then once the orders are completed, I'll know that we can start to fill out those rooms. So just kind of helpful early on to get that stuff made. I know I'm going to need some chests. We'll have some cabinets for people to put food in or their clothing into. Chests allow them to store equipment, I think. And then we're going to obviously have the beds, and then we're going to have the door. And that'll pretty much do it for the bedroom area to start with. We are making our floodgates. We're making our mechanisms. We are continuing to build a bunch of crafts that we can trade with other groups. Lovely. I think I'm going to go ahead and fire up that storage area down here, because we're going to want to start storing some stuff. So this is like, yeah, so we're going to do like that. Is that right? My math is probably all sorts of off here. It's actually really bad. All right, it's fine. We're just gonna make a stupid tunnel. That's all we're gonna do here. There we go. Still doesn't even look right, does it? I'll clean that up in a bit. Let's take the rest of the S off my little label. And again, this is going to be an area that we just store the general rest of the stuff that our fortress is going to need. So this is going to be where you've got weapons and equipment, any kind of bars that are unused, coinage, furniture, etc. So this is going to be an important storage area at some point. We probably don't want this done early on, though. I should have prioritized that with a different level, but I think it's okay for the moment. We definitely want our farm sooner than later, though. I'll tell you what. It is early summer, so we still have a lot of time left. They are starting to work on the crafting thing. Oh, they managed to get themselves into the tunneling job. I think that was a little bit earlier than I planned. Hopefully they don't kill themselves. I think they're just going to dig straight... Okay, they're actually going to dig straight down into the farming area. And I don't think there's really going to be anywhere for them to go except down here. Someone... Oh, hey! That's not great. Whoa, I missed a ton of combat. A Wolverine has snuck on the map. Sneaky, sneaky Wolverine. Never trust those Michigander folks. So, there was a bit of a fight here. You can see some blood spattered on the ground. So, not great. Who won this fight? So, the Wolverine has become enraged. It is a barbarian Wolverine. Scratched at the hen. Attacks the billy goat. The billy goat is incredibly nimble and dodging. Man, did I miss all this combat? Wolverine has not done anything. Tendon has been torn. Oh, that's not great. I don't think our animals are doing too hot here. Yep, we've got a stray hen that's almost down. Stray hen down. And there was a billy goat in here somewhere too. You're healthy. The heck is the Wolverine at? Let's go back to you. Other Wolverine. Can I center on... Oh, wow. It's way the heck up here. So it's hanging out by itself. How's it doing? It's seriously injured. Haha. That's right, you little bugger. Oh my god, it's so fast. Go away. We don't want you on our map anymore. Wait, where'd it go? Did it just yeet off the map completely? God, it's so quick. I'm going to follow it for just a second. If it gets close to us again, leave the map. Just go away. Nobody loves you. It's so fast. Did you know Wolverines were that fast? When I lived in Michigan for a long time, and I really just thought that the Michigan Wolverines were just like a bunch of the X-Men instead of a small angry little badger animal. All right, well this thing is a bit of a hazard unto itself. We're probably going to wind up losing. Yep. Did we already lose it? Oh, sorry. I thought the rooster was dead, but I think we're going to lose one of our hens here. We can see that they now give like a little chat bubble status. Oh, it was grouchy when caught in the rain. It was hopeless after suffering a major trauma. How sad is that? It's lost its ability to stand. Do we have anyone to help do animal treatment? Where can we do animal treatment? There is an animal training area. I'm going to make this right here. Is there like a... There is animal tending. As part of the farming roles that we've made, you can tend to animals. So if we take a look at the work orders, nope, it is labor. Farming McFarm. There is an animal... Oh, hang on. It's different. Who would be good with animals here? I mean, I guess it would make sense that it's Yasha, to be honest. Let's do another labor. There is this one right here. So animal training and animal care. We're going to assign these. We'll just say this is the vet. Wouldn't it make sense for it to be the medical dwarf, actually? Let's do that. Let's make it assigned to the medical dwarf, Odin. So Odin is assigned as the vet here. I'm kind of curious if he's going to try to help the hen or not. I did give him that assignment. I could make it exclusive. What's he up to? He is making wooden crafts right here. Can I just tell him to stop what he's doing? I'm going to pull him away from his current task by clicking this right here and just see what he gets as his next task. He's got no job. Yeah, he's going to store some stuff in a stockpile. Can I make his role exclusive? Maybe that will help out. Let's cancel the storage job. This is just an experiment in job priority stuff. He still has no job. Okay, so he's just pretty much going to hang out. If there's ever nothing to do, a dwarf will hang out at any hangout area. And since we don't have one, he's hanging out at the Ye Old Wagon. So I guess we will not make this job exclusive to him. And perhaps the hen is just not worthy of care. It's really dark and depressing. Our hens don't deserve love. Where's my other billy goat at? We had 2 billy goat. This is a billy goats. Nanny goat. You're healthy. You're healthy too. You ran way far away. I think you got scared. So this goat is actually in the wrong spot. It's probably going to get grabbed right now. Right now. Grab it? Yep, sure enough. And they're going to go ahead and haul it back to where it needs to go. Lovely. Ooh. Things are starting to sprout here and fall on the ground, which is really cool. This game gets incredibly pretty. For a 2D game, you're going to be very impressed when it comes to autumn time. For sure. Well, I don't think there's much we can do to save our wounded hen, wherever our hen may be. I like that I was thinking about, like, a hammer or something. I don't know where the hen went. We won't spend too much more time on that. But yeah, just to keep in mind, we do want to every so often keep an eye out for any animals that are going to cause us annoyances. I don't think, even if I equipped my combat dwarf, Kiffy, that Wolverine is so fast, I'm not entirely sure if there's anything we could do to stop it from attacking. So here's to hoping that if there's any dogs hanging out. You know what? On that note, I'm going to assign our dogs temporarily. I'm going to assign our dogs to this area. My theory is that dogs are a little bit more territorial than a goat. So if something comes in here to attack, the dogs might fight back. That is my hope and my dream. Get some great, sweet dog combat in here. All right, so we're crafting a bunch of stuff. Our dwarves did dig themselves out, or actually they're trying to dig themselves out. How did you get out of there? How did they get down? Because I thought both of them were digging in the same location. That's funny. Either way, we've got Jackson down here. He's going to dig until... Oh, he's actually a little bit thirsty. So I'll tell you what we're going to do is we're going to give him an escape route. We are going to reprioritize a straight line out of here. So he's going to dig straight, and that way he can get out and get some water. And he fell asleep. He fell asleep in his dark, dank cave. That is a bit of a tricky thing. When you wind up doing channels, you do open up your dwarves a little bit risky in terms of, like, you do open them up to a falling damage. So do be careful. If I were to channel this out right now, if the dwarf decided to channel on... It's like digging straight down in Minecraft. There's a chance you're going to drop straight down into lava, or in this case, he would drop down like 6 layers and knock himself unconscious. So, something to keep in mind. Our dwarves are going to continue to mine out this area. I'm going to prioritize all of this area as a 3 so that it's kind of more prioritized than anything else, because I do want to get these farms dug out. I'd like to get this done. And then more importantly, we really want to start working on this section here. So let's go ahead, and I think we have to do a channel, and we'll make a giant hole in the ground again. Dig all this out, make some stairs so they're accessible. Great. So the dwarves will continue working on the farm floor in this episode. Hopefully we can get to the end of this, although they seem like they're fast. They are expert miners at this point. So they are kind of chewing through everything relatively quickly. We still have some farming tasks here. It looks like Yasha's being kept pretty busy keeping the farm up and running. Eventually, though, we're going to run out of seeds, specifically the plump helmet seeds, because all of the plump helmet will then be in storage. So at some point, we will run out of those, and she'll have more time on her hand. But I'm fine with her spending her time doing farming-related activities. Everyone is continuing to craft. The only downside is that we don't have anyone hauling anything. So there is a kind of a big need eventually for some hauling to be done. Let's expand our finished goods stockpile here. Lovely. We probably don't have enough beds yet. Crafting area has barely been touched. Storage area has barely been touched. Everyone's going to be focused on this particular location. So we can do a couple things preemptively while we're waiting for our dwarves to finish mining things out. We are going to need some levers here. So machines and fluids will be the grouping, the category. And we are going to try out a bunch of levers. So we said that we wanted 5 levers, right? One lever is going to be up top by the water. The other lever is going to control a floodgate here, here, and here. So I'm just going to actually lay out 5 levers like that. And they're going to install them with mechanisms. And we can get a bit of a head start by placing down a floodgate here, 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 and here. The reason I'm putting floodgates here, I guess on the feeder end of the reservoir, is if we cut down, like you see how there's basically a hole in the ceiling, if this room floods up, if it floods too much, it'll actually flood up through the floor. And because the water pressure is coming from like elevation level 40, it will continue to try to flood upward and upward as long as it can, because water fluid dynamic witchcraft. It's just something to keep in mind. We do also want to be a little bit careful, because as soon as someone constructs this floodgate here, they're going to block out our mining friend. So as soon as that's done, we'll... Actually, you know what? I'm going to suspend this until we have some more levers ready to go. Hey, we've got migrants! Along with the fact that Vebok has created a masterpiece walnut wood earring. Who was that? Who's doing the crafting here? Odin? apparently becoming a very adept woodcrafter. Very nice. Very nice. Let's take a look at our new migrants. We have some new visitors here. Very excited about that. It looks like we only got 2 migrants. A little bit bummed. We did get a new dog. Or that's a water buffalo. Never mind. We have a master legendary bone carver. That's interesting. And then another... Ooh, this is fantastic. Another miner to help out with things. And they brought their own pick as well. Well, that's fantastic. We're going to go immediately into the creature list. The labor list, and I'm going to set our new friend exclusively to the miner role. Congratulations. Welcome to the group. We're going to go ahead and name you guys. You are joining the crew, so we want to make sure that you have some love. So Azazel, you have joined the group. Congratulations, my friend. And our master bone carver. Interesting. They also have a child with them. I assume the child will be coming along here presently. We're going to name you as Solnir. Welcome, my friend, my glowy, flashy friend. You play with bones and you enjoy it. Oh, hey, here come some more dwarfs. Lovely. We'll catch them as they come on through. So we've got Oostooth here. Oostooth is another woodcutter with another axe. Ooh, a steel battle axe. Nice. Very well equipped. Do you have any combat skills? No. We'll train you, my friend. We can make it happen. You have some high stamina, so that is helpful. You are a lady as well. We'll go with Zverda. Welcome to the team, my friend. We've got the child, Elath. That's probably one of these kids, one of these guys. Oh, 2 children, 2 lovers. Zverda is pretty spicy. Congratulations. That's probably one of those kids as parents there. There's the 2 kids. You don't get your fancy name until many moons later. I love that the tiny little Cavi pup has a little migrant symbol there. That's fantastic. Alrighty, that was our first migrant wave. Nothing too amazing, but I would say any extra bodies are helpful. Anyone else that can join us is going to be a boon to us. And also people who can mine is definitely a boon. Really helps power through the rest of all of these designated areas to mine out. Awesome. So our miners are going to immediately get to work. I think we still have somebody working on... Yep, we do have somebody working on our new tunnel system. I would like to get the rocks out of the way, but unfortunately, I think we're just going to have to deal with rocks being... I always love a nice, smooth tunnel, but we're just going to have to deal with rocks being here. I'm okay with that. No one has brought down any levers yet, so we're pretty much waiting for people to do construction work. Man, did that animal make a recovery? I think it did. There's a rattlesnake here. Ooh. Where are you at? You're more towards the north side of the map. I'm not terribly worried about you either. Some more things. As we start to get more dwarves, we are going to want to start to think about socialization and having dwarves hang out, socialize, get together, because they're going to have needs. And some of those are going to be to argue or to fight or to cause trouble. So we're going to want to make that happen through the use of maybe a tavern. So earlier than I normally would think to do it, I'm probably going to set up a floor for entertainment. And that is going to include a tavern area. We also are going to want to make sure dwarves can worship. Ooh, that reminds me. I want to go ahead and put in an order for altars. We're going to make, I think 10 rock altars should do it. I don't know how many religions there are. But we will be able to make a temple and dedicate a temple to a specific deity to keep our dwarves nice and happy. Are any of my puppers pregnant yet? Doesn't say anything about pregnancy. I actually don't know if you would notice it or not. Why are you carrying a big rock? Oh, you're actually carrying the floodgate. I love that. There's a small tiny child carrying a massive floodgate. How much does this weigh? 65 dwarven units of measurement. I have no idea. What's a reference point? Pecan wood logs weigh 36 R. 36 dwarfs. So I love that a little tiny child is going to go ahead and install a bunch of stuff for us. Yeah, but children do stuff now. Previously in other editions of Dwarf Fortress, that was not in fact the case. They were annoying and just kind of hung around. Now, though, they do have... Where did it go under? I think it's under default tasks and then chores. So children can do chores. They'll feed patients and prisoners and do hauling and all sorts of fun stuff. So congratulations, children are no longer completely useless. There was a dark time in Dwarven history, my friends, when if you had too many children in your fortress, you might have had to resort to creatively using a bridge and placement orders. I'm going to let you work that out in your head. It is as terrifying as you think it is. All right, now that we're starting to get some of these floodgates down, we're almost at the end of our fancy tunnel. Uh-oh. Let's suspend this as well, because if they place this, people aren't going to be able to get in and out of here. All right, there we go. So we're going to start tunneling out the rest of our massive hole. Excellent stuff. Let's start connecting these levers with stuff. So this lever is going to be used. We're going to do like top-down priority. So this lever will be the farthest lever down here. The next lever is going to be this right here. This lever will be here. This lever, we can go ahead and link it to this floodgate. This lever will be linked to this floodgate. I like that they're all made out of rock salt. It kind of looks really cool. Man, we got tons of hematite here. Lots of iron in our future. Very excited to see that. I'm still really surprised that we managed to get a legendary bone carver. I didn't think that you got legendary dwarves right out of the gate, but I am could be wrong. Okay, so dwarves have carved an area all the way up to our river. I am going to go ahead and drop down a floodgate right about here. Again, this is so that we have a way to protect the rest of the fort from flooding. I tend to err on the side of over caution when it comes to floodgates and water and all that kind of stuff, because I have definitely had some incidents in the past where I have accidentally flooded my entire fort. So just something to keep in mind. May want to be a little bit cautious about that stuff. Give my many woodcutters a couple more orders to clean up some more trees, because again, this entire area, the plan is to carve it all out one layer at a time. I want to make sure we don't have any trees in the way, and I honestly could start now-ish. Where's the entrance at? Right about here. So like, for example, I could say designate, I don't want to make it a high priority, so it should just be a generic priority, like a low priority. We'll use 5. So my plan is to like pretty much carve out an entire area like this. So probably like kind of stagger it so it seems natural. There. And I'm going to keep doing this progressively down each step. So we're going to mine this out, and then we're going to have to, I think we're going to have to, that's going to leave a roof though. I'm going to have to give more thought to this because I don't want this ceiling collapsing. I think we have to dig down through channeling is what I'm going to have to do. And that's going to basically, that will take out the floor of the area above, right? So if I wanted to make this entirely flush with the ground below, I would have to dig this out, but then also break this. This is basically an overhanging piece of earth. You see how you kind of go into the tunnel system? So this is a piece of earth that is hanging over an open space. So I will want to basically channel this entire area out. We'll work on that a little bit later on. It definitely is an extra thing that does not need to happen. I am proud of how many people are working on all of our different projects out here. Quite nice. We've got a bunch of buckets that are being used for making, for milking animals. It looks like if you are unable to complete a task, it gets removed, even if you have it on repeat. I kind of wish it would just try it every so often, like every season. Can we make a work order like that? Like milk an animal. How do we do this? Restarts if completed, checked daily. That's kind of nice. Checked monthly, checked yearly. I just want you to milk an animal 10 times. Or milk 10 animals. Would that work? And then if it can't be done, maybe it just cancels. Or maybe we can just say milk 1 animal every day. Not quite what I was going for in terms of the logic, but at least it'll restart every single day. And if it can't be done, it can't be done. Yeah, that'll work out. So there, right there, it actually complained that it can't milk because there's no creature available, but it'll retry it every day. We'll see if that becomes too annoying. You did see someone's opinion or happiness level drop right there. That was like a little sad symbol. So dwarves do tell you when they're not feeling too hot. Probably because there's not a whole lot to work with yet. Let's start trying to place down some furniture in our bedroom area. I don't remember how many we've built, but we can start trying to process through things until this entire area is nice and set up. There we go. That was quite nice. A lot of beds are placed. Let's go with our cabinets at the foot of the bed. Give you a little privacy nook. This reminds me of the same style of room I used in Prison Architect. Always a 2x3. Just enough to give you like a little shower, a prison bed, you know, all the comforts of home. It's really cool to see other developers have been giving Dwarf Fortress a nod and congratulating them on their success here on Steam. So a lot of other games pulled tons of inspiration from Dwarf Fortress. I mean, like, you can see it in things like RimWorld, for example. Obviously, the priority system, the skill system. Prison Architect pulled from RimWorld a little bit and changed the, you know, change the direction that they were going. It's so cool to see games growing out of each other and becoming their own thing. RimWorld really, God, what's the guy's name? I had it right in front of me. Ty really jumped into accepting the modding community aggressively. So, like, obviously RimWorld, Mountain Blade, huge successes because of the modding community. Dwarf Fortress, a huge success without a modding community, even though, like, there are some mods there, I will say, that extend the life of the game. But the default game is actually pretty engaging in its own right. Let's go ahead and link this lever with this floodgate up at the top of the stairs. And I'm going to go ahead and unsuspend... well, here, we'll open this lever, and then we can go ahead and link... unsuspend this work. Unsuspend this work. So we'll connect the rest of these floodgates here in just a minute once those are dropped down. We are in still summer. And if I remember, it is kind of a colder climate. So we are slightly concerned that it might freeze over sooner rather than later. So I'm definitely, as soon as I can, I am going to flood this tunnel. In fact, I can start flooding it right now. The floodgate is in place, so we could come up here to the top level, give it a high priority. We're going to make a channel, because whenever you channel something, you do it from the tile above. You don't get into it. So we are going to channel these 2 tiles out. Please don't stand there and die. Perfect. So you've channeled that out. Now the water is coming down our little tunnel. It's going to hit the floodgate and stop. Fantastic. Our dwarf right now is connecting this floodgate with the mechanism downstairs. So as soon as he makes his way all the way back, I think this one is officially fully connected too. Yep. So we could open this right now. Oh, well, it still actually looks like it needs more work. So I'm going to go ahead and say it is being done. The check mark indicates that something is being worked on actively. Why is there a cat? What are you doing, buddy? Where are you going? Oh, there's a random dwarf in here. Are you okay, Solnir? You're currently hauling rock salt. Why? Why are you hauling this? Why are you hauling this by hand? I'm going to go into the user section. I'm going to stop Solnir doing what he's doing. And then I'm going to go in here and basically forbid all of these rocks and minerals. There's no reason that our dwarves need to be in the channel area right now messing with this stuff. Hopefully that didn't forbid the floodgate. It did not. You are installing said floodgate here, I think. Yep, there we go. So now we can link this this floodgate with that lever. Fantastisch. We did get the lever completed above. So all we're waiting on at this point is this floodgate. We're going to actually have to say not forbid this rock because they have to move the rock out of the way. Our cabinet, bed, and chest order has been completed, so we can finish the last couple of rooms that don't have those items. What's missing from where? Furniture, cabinet. You're missing a cabinet. You... Okay, and then I think we're missing just a couple of chests as well. There, and that's it. I don't think we have enough doors yet, but we can try. Let's go ahead and put down a bunch of doors. You do have to, I think, for a room to be considered a bedroom, it does have to have a door. Where are you going? This is crazy. Why are they trying to make rock doors? Oh, you know what? This stockpile has managed to only grab things that aren't usable. I don't want metal ores. I don't want economic stuff. I don't want clay. Also, I bet Kaolinite here is not set as a usable stone. So if we go over to stone use, we look for Kaolinite. It is currently not set to be used in a non-economic job. That is why dwarves are going all over the place trying to get stone. And I bet as the crow flies, it's probably an easier way to get rock from like here than not. I'm going to forbid you. This is so crazy. Let's forbid everything here. Okay, so theoretically, there's nothing else for you to get down here. All right, Kiffy. I'm going to cancel your order so you go the heck away from here. There we go. Off you go, my friend. Uh-oh. the floodgate got placed and Kiffy is trapped. That's fine. We're going to now link this. Make sure there's nothing currently linked. Link you with this floodgate. Make this a priority so someone gets to it right now because Kiff is kind of stuck behind a wall. If we really want to make him nervous, we could open this floodgate, this lever, which would then release the flow of water all the way down into the tunnel, and we could play a fun game called How Fast Does the Water Fill the Tunnel? And how stressed is Kiffy about to get? Someone's going to... Remember, we have a lot of stuff stored outside, so someone had to go all the way upstairs to grab a mechanism to come down here to tie into this floodgate. So it is a bit of a walk, which is why I wanted to get our storage area set up a little bit faster. I think we need one more mechanism. You have to tie 2 mechanisms to each connection. We'll pretend it's like invisible redstone wiring or something. I don't know how they managed to make it happen, but they're dwarves, so, you know, it's kind of like the orc in Warhammer. They just imagine it into existence, I bet. God, that is a hell of a walk. Kiff's like, guys, is anyone there? Speaking of storage and people walking 1,000 miles, let's start fleshing out our storage area. First things first, I'm going to make a generic furniture storage because that's probably the furniture, sorry, that's the storage that is going to be the most common to use and largest. And then I think I'm just going to make a couple of other storage areas. Except you. We'll do bars and blocks. I don't think we need a ton of stuff right out of the gate. We just don't have that much extra stuff. Wood wouldn't be bad. We don't really have weapons, refuse, armor, animal. Yeah, we'll come back to this a little bit later on. Furniture is going to be the big helpful one, I think. So we'll come back to more advanced storage techniques shortly. We are still waiting for someone to finish that up, which is Alice coming to Kiff's rescue. Let's go ahead and pull the lever, Kronk. Just waiting for someone to rescue Kiffy. That's all we need. Save our Axeman. There we go. Lever's opened. Now, my friends, we should be able to go ahead and pull this lever to close... nope, cancel that. We want to pull... Which one is up right now? I think it is... Which one are you linked to? Uh-oh. I linked these backwards. Okay. This one, this lever goes to this floodgate. This lever, I think, goes to this floodgate up. Oh, they both go to the same floodgate. That's not helpful. Okay. Can I redo this and link this lever to this floodgate? Uh-oh. I might have made a mistake here. Cannot link to rock salt floodgate. That's a problem. All right, let's do this. Let's pull this. God, we have to wait for like people to come into the fortress. Most people are still outside the fortress, which is part of the problem. I think I'm going to go ahead and let's close the outer one. You should be already closed. How bad did I mess this up? Let's go slowly again. So you are the first lever. You are linked up here correctly. Next one is linked correctly. So I want to pull this lever right now, which should close it. I'm not sure why it looks like it's disengaged. Oh, so to the right is off. To the left is up. I think everything is fine. I'm just making a big deal out of things. Yes. Goodness gracious. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull you, make it a priority. By the way, I don't think you saw that, but the little exclamation point puts this at the top of the list to do for everyone. Let's go ahead and open the main lever at the top of our flooding area. And now, upstairs, you should... Oh, God. There is our biannual save. During the worst possible time frame, too. It is early autumn, so we're trying to basically flood the area before the permafreeze sets in. As soon as water goes inside of a tunnel, that water is protected from freezing. So if we have a nice full reservoir by the time winter really gets going in the game, we are going to be safe and we'll be able to keep, have our water coming in. So the floodgate opened, and now you can see the water coursing down the stairs. Hopefully there's no cats or other animals hanging around. Takes a little while for water to move. Takes a very long while for lava to move. If you're ever thinking about flooding an area with lava, it takes a minute. We will eventually try to get into lava downstairs, like in the down into deeper areas of our mountain here. And we'll have to find some creative ways to bring the water up. Let's go ahead and open the lever to our reservoir. And we'll start flooding this area. Again, we have to be a little bit careful because it could flood straight upwards into the other areas, although that's a pretty far way for that to go. All right, there comes the water. It's going to flood up to a 7 out of 7 value. I don't think I've talked about this either. Each tile can hold a maximum of 7 layers of water. And each time water moves, it's taking one of those layers and going in some kind of direction. So as you can see, this currently says open space. If I unpause the game, you can see it's immediately filling up. So water is actually coming up and will eventually start to flood into our bedroom area. So you can flood if you didn't have things planned. Let's close this lever. We are going to open all of the farm rooms. Make these all high priorities. Might still take a minute because not a lot of dwarves are actually in the fortress right now. So we might wind up with a smidge of flooding in the living area. We might have just gotten there in time. Yep, we did. Okay, cool. So that takes care of that. Importantly, no one came to close this one. That might have been a mistake. We closed the one upstairs though, I think. Oh God. Oh no. What is where? Oh, this is closed. Okay. Okay, hang on. Let's calm it down here. This is now closed. So the reservoir is just dumping out into the farm area. That's what we want. This is entirely planned. The water will spill out and kind of flood our bottom of our stairwell. Not a huge deal there. The endless flooding where you can't stop it is a problem. It could, and if we would have lost control of this and had both of the sources of water open, it would have continued to flood at such a rate that we could not have stopped it because no one could get to the actual mechanisms. It looks really bad right now, but it's not. What's happening, and I can go ahead and pull these levers to close off the farms. All of this water is kind of coming out of the reservoir, plus it kind of went pretty high up here. So all of this water is flowing somewhere. Now this is all going to flow out of our farm area down into the kind of the base of our stairwell. There we go. So now this is all closed, which is fine. What has to happen is the water needs to get down to a level of 1 to 1, and then it's going to start drying up. So as you can see, the water's kind of falling down. We actually do have a pretty flooded channel. Although it is a grim reminder of winter hardships to come, the supply caravan from the Hammers of Shadow is a welcome sight. So we also just got our first caravan. Fantastic. Let's open up this lever, because this is the lever that allows us to flood the reservoir. So I want the reservoir open for a minute. It's going to flood. That's okay, because all of our farm areas are closed. And I want the reservoir to start filling up with water. Right about now, I can probably queue up someone to pull the lever. As soon as it goes to a maximum of 7 out of 7, I'll make this a high priority item. Unless someone just naturally gets to it. Is the area frozen over yet? No, we're still good. I'll come back to our diplomacy warning here in just a minute. I do want to make sure that I'm actively watching the water situation. We don't want this to get out of control. Okay, so it's going to start... Okay, now it's all full. Let's make this a high priority pull. So water's probably going to start coming up a little bit if we don't close it in time. There we go. There's our close. Yeah, perfectly timed. All the water is now stockpiled here. The water is starting to dry up and spread in our farm area. So, again, the entire reason I did this was because normal mudstone cavern floors here, if we try to make a farm plot here, it is not valid. It needs soil or mud. So after we flood the ground, you can see that there's now muddy mudstone cavern floor. It's like a super muddy area. This will be perfect for farming. So once these areas start to dry out a bit, we have to wait for the water to be at a level of 1 out of 7, and then we can start making our fancy stuff. I do have a bit of a flooding issue in our tunnel, which we can definitely fix with some creative tunneling later on. Not terribly worried about that. Slightly worried if anyone falls down, but normally people don't randomly go into the stairwell to fall in. So I think we're fairly set. All right, let's go visit our new friends here. Oh, a stray horse gave birth to a baby foal. Lovely. Another masterwood crown. The merchants have arrived and are unloading their goods. So the merchants did arrive with their tiny, like, one-horse cart. They basically just walked straight down the stairs, and now they're unloading their goods here at our trade depot, which is fantastic. We also have a... Oh, there's a little Kia. Interrupted by a Kia. There's a bird upstairs trying to steal our stuff, which always happens. There's also an outpost liaison here, who is somewhere on the map. If we press U, go to others, now we actually see a bunch of new people. So there's the Mace Dwarf that came along escorting the caravan. We're looking for the outpost liaison. So Stakhood is going to try to meet with our expedition leader. So he actually arrived from the bottom part of the map, and he's going to come chat and have a little meeting and basically talk about all sorts of fun stuff. So he's going to say, hey, here's what's going on around us. So there we go. I'm your liaison from Mountain Homes. Let's discuss the situation. Here's much to share. So he's going to give us some information about the civilization and wider world at large. And he's going to ask us, what do we want from them next year? So I think I wouldn't mind having more plump helmets spawn. I would not mind getting some leather. Random leather is fine. You know what? Wolverine's just to make it, sweet. But just generic leather would not go amiss because it would help us. We don't really have a great supply of leather. So just some leathers would be useful. Maybe a little bit of silk or cloth. We can make our own metal. I'm not terribly worried about that. We can make our own anvils if we need to. And weapons. We do have the capability. We don't have the training yet, but we can make that happen on our own. Wouldn't mind getting a little bit of gypsum plaster. I forgot about that at the start of the game. I think this is used in case any dwarf breaks their leg. They have to have a cast. I believe gypsum plaster is used for that. I'll accept some cheeses. Of course, any good update on alcohol would be fantastically welcome. Other than that, I think I'm pretty happy with things. We don't really have any dire needs at the moment. So this is what we've requested. So obviously the prices are going to be higher for these items. Next year, they have a need for headwear. If we're able to provide some, the caravan will offer 192% of value. This only applies to next year, by the way, not with any merchant currently present. So next year, if we can mass produce headwear, that could be kind of useful. Meanwhile, let's check out our trading area. We want to bring a bunch of stuff to trade. So in order to do that, we click on the trading depot and we have to move goods to and from the depot. They've reorganized how this looks, which is a little bit annoying. Scepters, like if you look at a category, you can either look at it by individual item. What we really want to do though is look at bins, because bins contain certain things, right? So right here, this is a finished goods bin. It's got 61 items in it. All 3 of these bins are super valuable for us. So all I'm going to do is make 3 check marks, and somebody is going to haul all 3 of these bins to the trade depot. Look at that. Look at how far they went. Like 4 steps. That's it. That is why having your finished goods close to your trade depot is super duper helpful. That was really quick. Let's go ahead and request Odin to the trade depot. Odin to the trade depot, please. Odin to the trade depot. He's going to come take a look at the value of items as soon as Odin comes from wherever he's at. Assuming he's down deep. There he is, I think. Traded depot? Where are you, buddy? Alright, we're going to have to go find Odin. You are taking far too long. To be fair, everyone is kind of living outside of the mountain at the moment, so it's a pretty long run to get inside and outside. Hey, a stray dog has given birth to puppies. That's what I was looking for. Lovely. Okay, let's talk trade. We have a lot of valuable items here. So, for example, if I sold this entire bin of cherry wood cups, although I guess to be fair, I kind of wanted my own cups. Hang on. I do want these cups. I don't want to sell my cups. I want to sell my craft stuff. So this bin and all its contents are worth 200 value. This bin is also worth 1,000, and it's mixed with a bunch of other stuff. Probably don't want this stuff in here. But if it's in the box, I don't think I can really I can't really bring it out. But at the end of the day, that's fine. So we are offering a value of 1,200 dwarf bucks. We can then start to trade for other items of total equal value, probably less than the total equal value. Huh, there's a giant piano called a mugak. I love that. Let's grab oh god, the water skin is 1,000? No, thank you. I will take... We've got horse's milk. There's some snake venom. Buffalo's milk. I don't know why we would need a venom barrel. That's terrifying. Don't need any high quality metal stuff just yet. Steel shield would be really cool, but that's 1,000 value. I will take some of these bags, I think. So for example, this leather bin is only 90 value. So I can get a bunch of these different things. You're just going to be a little bit careful about what you're trying to buy. So this leather bin is worth 90. And then the cave spider silk is worth 1,000. So I'm just being picky about what I am ordering. I guess we'll just take all of their food. That's fine. We do have to find a way to actually spend money here. So we'll take all of their food. All of the fishies that they've got. Yeah, I'll take all of the plants as well. Bunch of leaves here, leaves and fruit. What about drinks? Did anyone bring any drinks? I don't think they did. Quivers. We've got a bunch of cheese. Who doesn't love cheese, right? Cheese is a little bit more expensive, so I'll just grab a couple of cheese wheels. Goat cheese, yak cheese. Menacing iron spike cheese. Our favorite. No alcohol unless I missed it. Can I search for beer? No, that would have been under the barrel section. All right, well, you know what? I think I'm happy with that. We are offering 1,200. We're asking for 900. This would give them a bit of a profit. They might not take this because they're not making enough of a profit. So let's try the trade. Yeah, and sure enough, they did like it. Wonderful. Thank you for your business. So now we have exchanged of the goods. Congratulations, team. We are going to say no trader requested at the depot. And that's that. Eventually, they're going to pack up their stuff and head out into the great unknown. Wonderful. We'll get our first trade done. More importantly, they're going to take news of our fortress back to the mountain homes. That is kind of what, that's what helps to keep the lifeline alive. They need to actually make it back and report in on how we've done. I'm going to unlock... No, wait, Yasha doesn't have restrictions, so he just happens to have no job. Okay, that's fair. I really want to start moving people inside. I think we're just about ready to do that. We're going to need to kind of fix the kitchen area. There we go. It looks like our main farming area is starting to settle in and dry up. So I'm going to go ahead and place down our new farm workshops underground here. I won't be using all three of these. I wanted to flood all the rooms. We can always add to this too. It'll be a little bit complicated, and as soon as someone pops the door, all of this water will flood out, but we can definitely make it happen. Awesome stuff. So that is now taken care of. I think I'd like to do the kitchen as well. Now, the kitchen is going to be a pretty involved endeavor. Space 1. How do I want to do this? 2, 3, space, 1, 2, 3, space. Okay, I think this is how I want to set up the kitchen. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 away. Obviously, everything has to be, you know, perfectly symmetrical. Okay, this is going to be our kitchen area. It looks like a big giant blockhouse at the moment, but I'll try to explain my theory of madness at some point. But we're going to start digging that out now. I want somewhere to start storing alcohol. That is going to be important. Also, we need to start storing ores and metals and wood and things like that. It's easier to make large-scale storage areas in the nicer walls here, like in clay. But unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to do that because anywhere down here in the mountain is actually stone. This was going to be our barracks down here. This is obviously going to be living quarters. We've got our main storage here. I think I might just... It's going to be really... I really want someone to just pop out and drop something down. This floor has some concerns about water, but that's only because above is now wet. You know what? Let's just make one floor for just bulk storage. It's going to be ugly, but that's okay. This not every floor has to be like super useful. It can just be like a utility type of floor. So I'm going to do... Math is hard. This would be wet, wouldn't it? It's going to complain about water down here. No, I think that's okay. Yeah, let's come down about here. On the other side, pretty much do the same thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is have basically just stone and wood stored in this area. I don't remember if we even have to worry about cave-ins anymore. It used to be a thing. I think... As long as your ceiling connects to a supporting wall, you're not at risk for a cave-in. But if I were to... Say I was to carve out this entire room here. And I carved out... I channeled a square. That ceiling... I guess this floor, but this ceiling would have no support left, and it would collapse straight inward on itself. We have so much ore right now. Holy crap, that's great. Look at all the metal. This is all metal ore. This is all iron stuff. Magnetite. This is going to be awesome. We're going to be able to pump out an absolute metric ton of resources here. How cool is that? You know what? I think we're about ready at the end of this episode here to start moving into the fortress. It is going to be a pretty big move. the most important thing is drinks. You really want to make sure we have a place where people can come get drinks without going all the way outside. I forgot about my entertainment floor. I think I might put that right down here. We'll definitely start things off with a tavern in the next episode. For now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a food stockpile. This is going to be an alcohol-only stockpile, which we've done before outside. So this is basically drinks. And then down here, actually up here in our living quarters, remember we talked about doing our decentralized area? Oh, that's what I should do. Hang on, we don't need to do the other thing. We are going to make a same stockpile right here. So this is going to be stockpiled with alcohol. Any kind of alcohol there. And then this one is going to be a stockpile with food. Any kind of meat, etc. So I'm going to go in here under food, and we are going to do meat and fish and prepared meals, although there are no prepared meals just yet. And that is going to be the new storage for our food and drink. I think we might have some extra tables, so let's go ahead and drop down a couple of tables and chairs here. Yep, that'll work. Tons of tables, actually. Table. They can kind of overlap. Actually, if we really wanted to, we could be super fancy. It used to be a lot quicker when you were able to kind of like move your mouse with your cursor and your keyboard and just like instantly place cancellation orders and placement orders. We'll set it up like a little dining hall, like you're at a restaurant or something. You just got your tables along the side there, and then the central area is where people walk. Yeah, that works out. I'm digging it, my friends. I love it. So this is our decentralized area where people are going to eat and drink. So downstairs, I'm going to cancel this food stockpile. I'm going to go upstairs, and we are going to start canceling some stuff upstairs. We're going to remove the farm. We are going to remove the food stockpile. I will make a better stockpile here shortly. Don't worry. Remove this. Remove this. We are going to remove a bunch of furniture. There is no way to bulk remove furniture that I have found yet. So I am having to manually click on everything, which used to be like QX was really fast to move things. So we're going to remove all of this stuff from upstairs. We're pretty much trying to transition and force every dwarf inside. And if you need to go outside for stuff, that's fine, but dwarves shouldn't have to leave the fortress if they don't have to. They shouldn't need to go upstairs just to get a drink of water. So we are going to designate some new bedrooms. So I'm going to go ahead and say multi and room. And I think I can just start here and drag the mouse all the way over. And sure enough, it automatically made me 17 bedrooms. 3 of them were rejected because they didn't have doors, which is understandable. I think our doors should be done now. So I can put some doors in different areas like that. Awesome. Back to the zone thing. Redo these. And there we go. We now have... I don't think I accepted that, did I? No, it worked fine. We now have 20 bedrooms and 12 dwarfs. So if anyone is a couple or children will always live with their parent. But you'll start to see that these rooms get claimed whenever a dwarf needs to sleep. So we don't have to assign the room to anything. It can just be a bunch of free open rooms. And that's great. I'm really excited about that. That means we are going to start moving dwarves into the fortress throughout this episode, or throughout the next episode. They will be able to drink from within the fortress, which is also important. And I think it's about time to go ahead and start canceling and destroying the stuff upstairs. Yeah, we're going to have a bit of a migratory episode, I think. We'll close down this. We'll close down our workshops that we've been using. Thank you so much, workshops. You've done some fantastic work. We will leave the farmer's workshop here because it doesn't make sense to bring the animals all the way downstairs just to milk them. We'll come up with a better solution for that at some point in the future, perhaps. There's going to be a lot of hauling coming up. A lot of moving. So there probably won't be a lot of stuff actually done until people have moved everything inside. If it's all done efficiently, dwarves should be able to spend more time inside the fort, moving around quite quickly. That is the hope. That is the dream. Next episode, we'll start building out our storage areas. Oh, I forgot to do that. We have to mine out the storage and then build out the crafting area, I should say. They are continuing to work on our glorious kitchen and our less glorious storage area. Again, this is going to be bulk storage for stone, for ore, for wood, things like that. There is a trick to storing stone called a quantum stockpile. I can talk about that in the next episode. I'm not going to do that so much here. But I think we're in a good spot. People carrying really heavy things around. Although these children are going to be like freaking super strong. We have a lot of stuff upstairs that needs to be stored. All of this stuff has been sitting inside of the various workshops. So these are all items that need to be stored somewhere. That is a lot of extra work. All right, friends. As always, let's go ahead and check our list of people. We've got Azazel. Azazel is one of our new dwarves that just joined us. He has good spatial sense, a little bit vain. Hey, maybe all the miners are vain. Isn't Jackson vain? I think he is. What about Odin? No, Odin is the only non-vain miner. Lovely. He's been a little bit angry here. He got into an argument. He dined in a good establishment. He was angry when he remembered that time he got into an argument. I mean, to be fair, if you get into an argument like 5 minutes later, you're like, man, that pissed me off. I remember that time I got angry. He was relatively happy talking to an acquaintance, having an intellectual discussion. He's a little bit grumpy that he hasn't been able to pray to Zedot. So at some point, we're going to have to start looking into dedicated temples. Had to drink without a mug, something to keep in mind as well. These are kind of yellow items or temporary changes to the personality. So he's actually a little bit more rude. He might be kind of in a bad mood. I love this stuff. It's so cool. All right, friends. Thanks so much for joining me for this episode of Dwarf Fortress. We shall continue the life and love of Pantedguild. Hold up. 21 people? We just got a migrant wave. Ninjas. Ninjas, everyone. Did they sneak in here and I completely missed them? We're getting a brand new baby alpaca. We're getting a stray duckling. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm not even going to let you see the dwarves. We're going to have to wait till the next episode. I'll see you again then. Take care.